my name is Lizzie and I'm here today to show you and talk to you all about the new shape cutters. We have 5 in the range. So this is the first one. This is the 45-degree cutter and it has the 4 different sizes, and I'll go through those shortly. Then we have the hexagon shape cutter, and all of these have instructions on the back as well. Then we have the tumbler shape. Then we have the circle cutter. And then we have the 60-degree diamond shape. Now all of these shapes will actually cut your full size template and also a half size template. That's why we call them the 2-in-1. So they're incredibly useful and great sizes as well, going from 2.5 inches all the way up to 8.5 inches. So incredibly useful. These are our shape cutters. So now I've picked out one of the shape cutters to show you exactly how it works. This is the 60-degree diamond. Now I've put a piece of white paper behind that so you can see clearly where the lines are. You can see where the grooves are as well, where you cut into or through the shape cutter. At the bottom there you've got a straight black line, which is the placement line, and that's for when you're cutting on the fold. You've also got a dash line just underneath that, and that dash line is when you're cutting a singular, in this case a singular triangle. So the first cut I'm going to do is actually on the straight edge of the fabric. So I've got that already on the mat, nice and cut. And I've put the dash line against that cut edge of fabric. So don't forget always to cut away from you. I'm using the 28mm rotary cutter. You can use the 45 if you want to. So just release your blade. I'm going to go in at 3.5 inches. So I'm going to go all the way up and just past where the 2 grooves cross over. And then I'm going to turn my mat around and I'm going to go in at 3.5 inches again. Again, I'm going all the way up just past where they cross over. And those grooves there really help me to keep a nice straight line. And there we are, we have the perfect triangle cut. So now I'm going to show you how to cut a full shape. That's cutting on the fold. So if you can see with this one, I picked up a different shape. It's the tumbler. Again, we've got the straight line going right across the bottom. That's for your fold. And then the dash line underneath is if you want to cut a half tumbler. And you can see those crisscross lines at the corners there, and that allows your rotary cutter to go past where you need it to be cut, which is really handy. And again, we'll use the 28mm. In fact, you know what? I'm going to use the 45 because it really doesn't matter. So let's try that. So I've got my fabric on the fold on my mat. Now with this tumbler shape we have 2.5, 4.5, 6.5, 8.5. So let's see what fits onto my fabric here. So 6.5 is great. So I've put these straight lines, so the solid straight line that goes across the bottom, I've put that against the fold. So I'm going to use the big rotary cutter now, and we're going to go for 6.5, aren't we? Because we've got plenty of fabric. So just slot that in there and just go past your crisscross. You'll see that when you start to cut, what I'm talking about. So I've cut up, now I'm going to cut across. So again, we can move our mat. Just slot your blade in and take it all the way, just past that little crisscross. Once you get used to it, you will go exactly in the right place. And then again, 6.5 here. Let's get it so it's cutting away from me. 6.5. There we go. And because we've cut on the fold, we've now got a full tumbler shape, whichever way round you want it. Now that's fabulous. So I thought I'd show you how to cut the circle one. Now this is where you definitely need to use your 28mm rotary cutter because it's a curve, so it needs a smaller blade. So that's the 28mm rotary cutter is perfect for cutting these circles. So the same rules apply to this as with all the others, in as much that you've got that solid line going across the bottom. Solid line means going on the fold. The dash line underneath goes on your edge of your fabric, so you need cut just a semicircle. That would be perfect. Again, we've got more sizes here. We've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 inch circles that can be cut, or semicircles depending. So very, very versatile. Great for applique. So I'm just going to choose, well, let's go for, I don't know, 7-inch, shall we? 7-inch. I'm asking you, I'm going to tell you. 7-inch, that's what we're going to go for. And again, a rotating mat is good for this, or if you're standing up, you'll find that your body will move as you go around the curve. So 7-inch. So again, 28mm rotary cutter at all times using the circle cutter. Put your solid line on the fold of the fabric, make sure it's nicely lined up, and then release your blade. And we're going in at the 7-inch mark. And go as far as you can that you're comfortable with, and then you can move your mat around. Again, 7-inch, make sure we're in the right groove, and just take it all the way around. There we go. So, there we are. Oh, one little snag there. And just there. Perhaps I need a new blade. So there we are. There's our perfect circle cut. Now I think you'll find that these shape cutters are going to be incredibly useful. You've got 5 shapes either to choose from or get the entire range. Now even if you're a serious quilter, whether you're a novice, whether you've just started, I think you'll find these shape cutters to be really, really practical, really useful. It's one of those things that's going to be out on the worktop all the time. So we've got the circles. We've got the hexagon, lots of shapes, lots of sizes. We've got the 45-degree diamond or triangle. We've also got the tumbler as well, again in 4 different sizes. And then lastly, we've got the 60-degree diamond, again in 4 different sizes. So an incredibly useful set of cutters. I think you're really going to enjoy what you make with them.